the Neve 1073. Probably the most iconic preamp in the audio engineering world. Also the most recreated preamp as well. The past few weeks I was going through what all audio engineers go through at least 3 times in their life, which is do a 1073 deep dive. And if you've done the research yourself, you probably found a few names that keep popping up. One is BAE, the other is Heritage Audio, and these are probably the 2 biggest ones. But there's another name that keeps popping up that is constantly praised for its quality and how close it gets to the original 1073, or at least the 1073 sound. And that company is AML. AML is based out of the UK and is one of those companies that sources the individual components, and then you can buy kits to build it yourself at home, or you can buy it pre-built. For that reason, the cost is much less than some of the other competitors that I mentioned before. Now, the praise AML has received was too much for me to ignore. So what I brought here today to check out is AML's Easy 1073 Pre Mark II. Obviously, this is a 500 series preamp, and this is a bit difficult to hold because one side is exposed, but that's great news for us because we can look in the insides and see all the components out here. Now, what's special about this recreation is that the owner used to work at the original Neve factory. So he knows what he's doing and he's sourcing the right components, most notably the Carnhill transformers on the input stage and the output stage. Now, it does have AML's logo in it, but I'm pretty sure, according to everything I've read and the schematics, this is a Carnhill transformer. Carnhill transformers are the same ones that the original 1073 had, and I may be wrong, but I think that he sources them from the original factory as well. Now, everything in here is through-hole components. There is nothing that is surface mount, which is some of the things to look out for when buying a quality 1073 recreation. This isn't to say that preamps with surface mount components are not quality, but that's something that should be reflected in the price as well, because through-hole components obviously takes longer to make. Now, this is very expertly soldered because it wasn't made by me. I actually ordered this pre-built because I'm not as handy to solder this as fast as I would want to get my hands on it. Now, another important element for a faithful 1073 recreation are the gain stages themselves. The original 1073 had 3 gain stages, and that's what allowed them to get that impressive 80 dB boost. Now, this has up to 65 dB of boost, but I did talk with the owner and he did confirm that it does have 3 stages of gain. And you can also look at the schematic, which are available online for free, and you can confirm that. But the reason he said that he limited to 65 dBs of gain is because he wanted to make sure that this unit does not self-oscillate. And the reason he said that is because all of these components are packed in such a small space for the 500 series preamp. And that's important to keep in mind because the original 1073 was a bit larger and there were 80 series racks. Now, Heritage Audio's version does have 80 dB of gain, and it's also a 500 series preamp, and it also has 3 gain stages. I haven't come across anyone complaining online about self-oscillation issues, but that being said, I found that 65 dB of gain is plenty. Ultimately, the reason I went with the AML version over the Heritage Audio is because 1, it ended up being cheaper, and 2, it has a very important feature that I was looking for, which is the combi jack in the front. Now, my thinking for that was that I would have a cable going in the 500 series chassis that will always stay connected, and that can be my always on microphone. But if I wanted to try a different microphone, or I wanted to record the DI on this thing, because it has a DI inside of it, I could just plug it in on the front without having to go back and use a patch bay or unplug the microphone that's already plugged in. So combi jack on the front, you just plug in whatever you want and it overrides whatever input you have on the rear. Now, another amazing feature of this, you have a fader trim that goes all the way to -infinity, so you can crank up the gain, get some nice harmonic distortion, and then crank it down so you don't clip your digital inputs. If you wanted to run line inputs on this, you could, and you have a switch right here. The original 1073 had a range. From this side, it would be line, and then to this side, it would be mic gain. But some people prefer to have a switch for that instead. So you've got all the available gain for either mic or line. We, of course, have 48 volt phantom power. We got a 20 dB pad, a high pass filter. We can change the resistance from 300 ohms to 1200 ohms. And then we got a polarity switch as well. So those are incredibly helpful features, but none of that matters if it doesn't sound good. So if you agree, I think we should go plug it in and test it out. Before we do so, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, download your free Voyager preset pack down below, and let's see how this thing sounds. Does the AML EZ1073 Pre sound like an original 1073? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. How does it compare to your favorite 1073 recreation? And would you attempt building one of these yourself? Because that would save you more than $100 in this preamp. Now I got big plans for this preamp on this channel, so make sure to subscribe to stay in tune and keep an eye out for a preamp shootout that I'm about to do. And that includes UAD's what are they called? And that includes UAD's Unison 1073 preamp. Check out the Voyager Serum 2 preset pack down below. I made that by sampling my Minimoog Voyager. And I've also got a free vocal tracking template for Pro Tools, which is very handy when you're trying to work fast, record, comp all at the same time. So check those down below in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I hope you have a great day.